Okay, good afternoon all. So I'm Theogen Kubahoni Yesu. We are going to be together in this fifth session of refresher training on Microsoft Excel. So we're starting from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So hope we'll be together. I would like to have your comments, suggestions, and other questions that you may have on this session. So I'm going to take you through decision making with Excel. So we will see different things, and I hope you will enjoy it. So in the morning, if we were together, there are previous training that we have provided. Okay, I don't know if we were together, but we will continue. And if you missed the previous sessions, please, here at Ishuri TV, you can find them. So kubo tutigeze twigana amasomo yagiye abanza, mushobora kujya hano ku Ishuri TV n'ubundi mukahasanga ibyo twagiye tuvugaho duhugurana mu maseshoni yabanje ya mbere. So ntekereza ko rero tugiye gukomeza ni session ya gatanu ibanziriza iya nyuma. Session ya gatanu tukaba tugiye kuvuga kuri decision making with Excel. So ndatekereza rero turi kumwe kandi mutari buze kujya kure kugira ngo tugendane akantu kamwe ku kandi. Nuramukuje hano live, ni byiza gutera comment, ni byiza gusuhuza kugira ngo tubone ko turi kumwe, ni byiza cyane kandi ndanabibashimira uko mwagiye mu bigaragaza mu masaha igiye arangira muri sessions zagiye zirangira. So let's move. So we want to make some decisions with this Excel. So I'm having here the table, and this table, let me try to zoom it out. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to explain each and everything for you guys. So we have this table which has this information. This is, we might call it the database. I want to remove all the colors. I click Ctrl H. So then I go to home. Then I go to conditional formatting. Then I go to clear rules. I clear rules from all selected because I know this was the conditional formatting. If you want to know more about conditional formatting, please refer to the previous sessions, previous videos, and they are here uploaded at Ishuri TV. From session 1 to session 5. This is the session 4. This is the session number 5. Okay, this table, let me zoom in now. We have the names of, let's say they are staffs, okay, and we have the salary, we have the education level, we have the bank loan, we have repaid amount, we have remaining amount, we have the decision to be paid. Okay, so reka tuvuge aba bantu. So if you are here and you are not from Rwanda, please let me know. I will have to mix two languages, English and Kinyarwanda. So tuvuge iyi database, dufitemo amazina y'aba staff, dufite salary bahembwa, dufite education level, dufite bank loan cyangwa inguzanyo bagiye bafata kuri banke, dufite ayo bishyuye, dufite remaining amount cyangwa amafaranga asigaye. So icyo twebwe dushaka ni ukwanaliza aya makuru cyangwa kuyakorera ubusesenguzi tugamije gutanga report isobanutse. So nicyo rero ngira ngo dukore muri aya masaha. Then we have first of all, when we are dealing with the decisions, we think about if or what happens if, and things like index, if errors, and other functions. Turabigendanamo gake gake ku buryo muri buze kubyumva, kandi uri buze kugira ikibazo nyamuneka yihute yandike comment ikibazo tukibone hanyuma tubashe kugisubiza. So let's say, for example, we have the remaining amount. This is data management we are starting. Remaining amount, for example, if this is the loan, bank loan, okay? Niba hano dufite amafaranga umuntu yafashe nk'inguzanyo, tubona yamaze kwishyuraho, remaining amount ubwo nasigaye. We take this, okay? So let me zoom it out. Sorry. Some people who are using smartphones may not see this. So, turafata loan yafashe muri bank ingana kuriya, hanyuma dukuremo amafaranga amaze kwishyura ari angana kuriya, hanyuma dukande enter, then scrolling down. Scrolling down bivuze iki? Bivuze ngo ni ukumanura kugeza hasi kuho telefone kuho formula iri. So because I didn't start from the top, I can even scroll up to scroll the formula up. Okay, so this is very easy. We have the remaining amount. Clear? So then we can say, let's say for example, there are people here. If I select, we have seen this in previous sessions, selecting the remaining amount, aya n'amafaranga asigaye umuntu atarishyura, ushobora kubona ko the minimum is ibihumbi 991, ibihumbi 9 n'amafaranga 91. So the maximum, or if I want to see the minimum and maximum, I can look at this status bar here down. Okay, so but also I can sort, I can make sorting. Ushobora gusortinga nkavuga nti okay, let me sort from lowest to highest, smallest to largest. So the smallest amount is this one, 99091. Okay, so let me sort again from largest to smallest. This is the highest amount. It is 25. Okay, 1022. Okay, this is the highest. Ufite inguzanyo y'amafaranga menshi cyangwa usigayemo menshi, asigayemo ibihumbi 251 n'amafaranga 22. Ufitemo amafaranga make asigaje amafaranga ibihumbi 9 n'amafaranga 91. Aha rero bivuze iki? Bivuze ngo icyo ngiye gukora noneho ngiye gushaka uburyo ki mfata decision. Okay, so the mean between this, if I calculate the average or the mean, let me calculate the average. Okay, so the average of this, okay, so or the difference twaba dufite nibura nk'ibihumbi 130. So no kuvuga ngo nibura umuntu uri mu cya kabiri cyo kwishyura tugereranyije usigajemo makeya n'ufitemo menshi, nibura umuntu yagombye kuba yishyuye nk'ibihumbi 130 gutyo. Ariko iki cyo twagenderaho kuko urumva no gufata case ya kure tugakuramo case yo hafi, ibyo nta busesenguzi burimo bundi. Ahubwo icyo turi bukore ni iki? Turaza tuvuga ngo niba n'urugero, niba umuntu atarishyura kugeza nibura niba umuntu asigajemo ibihumbi birenze 100, uwo muntu tumufate nk'umuntu nka bihemu, to be blacklisted. If someone is still having more than 100,000 to remaining amount, let's consider him, let's blacklist him. Okay, if someone is still is having less than 100,000 to be paid, let us say that let's believe he is in the right way of making the payment. So if, okay, if what, if this amount, ibi ni ibintu ugomba kugendaho gake kandi unabyumva neza. Niba aya mafaranga, okay, ari hejuru cyangwa se bingana, okay, ari hejuru cyangwa bingana, if this amount is sorry, this, yes, if this amount, sorry, if this amount, I'm sorry, if this amount is greater, this is the formula, not because you see 200 and whatever, no, it will work for the rest of other values. So if this amount is high, greater than 100,000, okay, comma, please make say this person to be blacklisted. Okay, let me write blacklist. Okay, so then because this is the text, you put it in bracket, in quotation marks. But when it is number, you can type it, there's no problem. Comma, if different So you see, the first logic is that the amount should be greater than 100,000 to be blacklisted, because this staff will still have a huge amount to be paid. So, but otherwise, it should be it should be it should be uh, good progress. Good progress of what? Of making this repayment. Okay, so niba aya mafaranga tuvuge ari hejuru y'ibihumbi ijana, amafaranga yose araba asigaje kwishyurwa n'araba arenze ibihumbi ijana, uwo muntu turamufata nk'aho ari ibihemu, turamu blacklisting. Ariko niba ayo mafaranga ari munsi, otherwise turamufata nk'aho ari muri good progress yo kwishyura. So we press enter, hanyuma tubone blacklist. Like this person we needs to be blacklisted. So we scroll down to the last person. Okay, so you see, then how many people do we have in a good progress and how many people do we have needs to be blacklisted? This is the work we need to do. Okay, so we can sort, we can make sorting there in decision. Okay, sort, for example, sort this one, we go to sort, then we select good progress. Let's select first good progress for those people who are in the right way of making repayments. So how many people do we have? We select like this. Okay, after selecting, we have 32. You look at this status bar, we find count to be 32 people who are in good progress. Means around 58 people need to be blacklisted because they still have a huge amount to be repaid. Okay, more than 100,000. Okay, you see, this is the blacklist. So if, for example, your manager, your head of a department asks for the list of people or staffs who should be blacklisted because they still have huge amount to be repaid, so you can send this list to him and you print it out, then you hang it on wall for people on a test bar board. Okay, so for people to see their names appearing on the list of people who have huge amount to repay. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So if you are here, please, I encourage you to add comments. I need to know if people are really following. Okay, add your comments, I ask questions, add suggestions. Okay, so if you don't get it well, I can repeat, there's no problem, but it's a video, you can even watch it later or just follow the next session, because sometimes I go back reminding you what we have already seen. This is the first decision to be made. So you are making a decision regarding, okay, regarding the amount of money remained to be repaid. Okay, so this is how if works. Sometimes when you are a teacher and you have marks of students, you want, for example, to take the decision for all the students, so to select whom are going to the next classes, the next level, and who should repeat the class. So for that case, you consider the average marks. After considering the average marks and the percentage of average marks, then you take the decision saying if the marks is greater than this one, then success. If otherwise, failure. Okay, so I think that's very clear. So I think I have to continue with other decisions. So we have this. Okay, we have the salary. So I need to know the salary structure. How is salary structured? So nkeneye kumenya ubundi iyi salary aba bantu bahembwa iri structure gute, sibyo? I can say, for example, the minimum salary. The minimum salary among this salary is what? I can call the function called the mean. Okay, The mean is used to describe the minimum number among the list, on the list, okay? I click enter. The minimum salary is this one. Minimum salary. You see? You want to know the maximum salary? Maximum salary. Which function do I have to call? I call the function max. Okay? Equal max. Maximum salary. So you see, you open parentheses, then you select all the salary from top to down, then you close parentheses, then you click enter, then you find the highest salary paid here is around 600,000 and whatever. You see, whereas there are some people who are paid, okay, who are paid raw amount like this one, 31,000. Okay, so we need to know quartiles. Okay, so first of all, I have to explain basic statistics before we even move. So this is the minimum salary, this is the maximum salary, this is the, let's calculate the average. So okay, mean or average, let's say. So let's calculate the median. Okay, so the mean average of the salary is what? So what I want you to understand, it is not how to calculate this, but why do we want it and what does it mean? Okay, so the mean salary is this one. So the median, okay, let's calculate the median or the median value or the middle number around the set of the range, around the range of numbers. So you see, I want to explain this clearly. The minimum salary is around 31,000. The maximum salary is 642,480 for 642,000. The mean, on average, one employee gets around 225,000. Okay, so whereas the median means the middle value. Okay, so the middle value from our sequence or from our range is to 223,000. Okay, so what does it mean in Kinyarwanda? Umuntu uhembwa make mo hariya ahembwa 31,000 n'amafaranga 312. Umuntu uhembwa menshi ahembwa amafaranga 642 n'amafaranga 430. Kandi formule nakoresheje mwagiye muzibona. Kuri minimum nakoresheje mean, nakorenze function yitwa mean, ubundi shyiraho iriya range. Kuri maximum nakorenze function yitwa max, shyiraho iriya range. Kuri mean ni ukuvuga impuzandengo. Nibura umukozi umwe muri iriya organisation ahembwa 225. Ngaho nyumvira. Ryajanisha ryo kuvuga ngo tujanishe ngo nibura umuntu umwe ngo ahembwa aya n'aya ngaya, which is not good. Noneho kandi buriya umuntu wo hagati na hagati turamutse tubashyize kuri ordre de croissance cyangwa de croissance, umuntu wo hagati na hagati twabona ko nibura ahembwa 223. Instead, so you see the mean and the median, they are approximately the same. Okay, hari igihe ujya gukarikira nka mean ugasanga n'urugero uyifatiye ku bantu badafite naho bahuriye mu mibare. Urugero, uje muri quartier y'abantu b'abakire, wenda barabatunze bafite ibyo batunze, hanyuma ushyizemo nk'abandi bantu batishoboye nka batatu, warangiza ukajya gukarikira ngo umuntu umwe muri izi quartier atunze amafaranga angahe. Urumva wa muntu utishoboye utunze ibihumbi bye, wenda itungo ry'amafaranga 30 cyangwa 50, icyo gihe nujya kumugereranya n'abantu bafite amamodoka ahenze babarirwa amamiliyoni n'amamiliyari, uzajya gushaka mean usange ufashe decision ivuga ngo sibyo nibura umuntu umwe muri aba ngaba afite umutungo wa miliyoni 10 kandi mu by'ukuri wirengagije ko harimo abandi abantu muri abo bantu 100 wafashe harimo 5 bashobora kugira ute banaburara batafite icyo barya. Okay, so mean rero rimwe na rimwe ntabwo ari nziza kuyiconsidera. Sometimes we need to replace it with the median. I hope you understand this. So what we call so standardize. Okay, before I even move to standard deviation, let me calculate the variance sample. Okay, let me calculate the variance. This should be the variance of this sample. So the variance of this, for example, the variation from the mean of this data. Okay, I don't know if I start from above. Okay, it's okay. So what does it mean? So I entered a few arguments. Wait a bit. So we need to, oh sorry, so we have like this salary, okay, and we know we can calculate the variation of the salary from the mean. The deviation, we have the mean. Let's calculate the deviation of salary from the mean. Okay, so we can have this minus the mean. Some of the staff are paid the amount which is high, which is greater than the mean. Okay, so others are paid the amount which is low comparing to the average value. You see, that's why we can see negative numbers and the positive numbers. But here we have, so I want to know the average if I calculate it well. So the average is 20 to 20 what? Let me check where. Okay, so let's have, for example, the salary. Okay, I see the deviation of each point from the mean. Okay, this the distribution of this. Let us see if we can have a geometric mean to support. Let me see. Okay, sometimes due to the distribution of data, the mean, we need to know if it is harmonic mean or geometric or arithmetic mean. We need to calculate. So we need to differentiate all of this. Okay, so considering this mean, this geometric mean, okay, we have like two. Okay, oh no. Okay, so let me remain with this arithmetic, this average. So the only question was to take this because the average is fixed. Murabona ko average it is R2. So if it is R2, when I go there, they say R3. But this is a mistake. It should be always R2. Okay? Kubera ko biri kugera hasi, babona R3, it is empty. R4, R5, R... No, it should not be the case. Kugira ngo ibi mbikureho, ndaza mfate nze hano kuri R2, selection nindangiza nkande F4. Sorry. F4. So after clicking F4, so wherever I go with R2. Okay, if you scroll down, you get R2. So for example, here you have R2. So that is how to make it very, very stable. So this deviation in parentheses means what? The deviation in parentheses, it is a negative number. Okay, so it is a negative number, but what I am only calculating this on blacklisted people. That's why we have a short list of employee. So let me repeat once again this. The minimum, it should not be 250. What should be the minimum? Okay, so we have filtered and we didn't find all the data that we have, because we were working only on blacklisted people. So you see the last row is 91, row ya nyuma ni 91, so twari turi gukarika rero twibeshye. So and this is here the mean salary, it is not 59, it is 91. Also this is not 59, it is 91. So the median is not 59, it is 91. Okay, so then we remove the deviation there. So this deviation, okay, so then we scroll down to find other deviations. Okay, instead of having this parenthesis as a negative number, you can transform it into a real negative number. Like, let me show you how to do this. So you can click there on deviation, then you select all the numbers down, you go here to custom, you go to more numbers. Okay, so this is not the custom, it is a number, then you go to negative, so you click OK. So that's why you see the negative number there. You see, this person is deviating 161,000 from the mean. Bivuze iki? Bivuze ngo hariya harimo abantu bahembwa amafaranga menshi na makeya cyane, ku buryo ugereranyije n'impuzandengo yafatwa kuri buri muntu. Donc muri rusange wasanga hari umuntu ufite ikinyuranyo cy'ibihumbi 161 ugereranyije n'impuzandengo. Urumva umuntu ubwe ahembwa 63,000, none impuzandengo ni 200,000. Urumva ko icyo gihe afite ikinyuranyo cy'ibihumbi hafi 160. Afite ikinyuranyo cy'ubwikube gatatu, cy'ubwikube hafi gatatu bw'amafaranga ahembwa. The deviation is around 3/4 of his salary. You see? So this is the deviation of the salary of his salary from the mean. Okay, so now as we have seen the deviation from the mean, we all know that. Okay, so we know we can find like what we call the variance and the standard deviation. Okay, to find ubundi mu buryo busanzwe on average how does one deviate from the mean, because that is not the deviation itself. Okay, but if we sum up, okay, let me sum up the deviation, you will get 0. Okay, let me sum up the deviation. If we sum, for example, the deviation before I go to calculate what, so if we sum this deviation, okay, what do we get is the sum. Okay, I sum the deviation. What is the sum? Is it 0? Yes, because the deviation must be equal to 0 from both sides, from left and from right. Okay, deviation must be equal to 0. So for it not to be 0, this is what I was going to show, because the sum of deviations must be equal to 0. So we take each number, okay, minus the mean, okay, minus the mean. This is what we call the deviation. But because we know the sum of this deviation is always equal to 0, so we don't want this deviation to be equal. We don't want this deviation, sum of deviation, to be equal to 0. So we should have the square of this. the square of this, the square root of this. Then after having the square root of the each number minus the mean, kuko nuvuga ngo uko umuntu yagiye devia par rapport na mean nitubiteranya turabona 0, kandi twebwe turashaka kumenya ku mpuzandengo, impuzandengo ni kangahe umuntu umwe yagiye devia par rapport na mean, sibyo? Donc muri organisation urumva hari abahembwa menshi, hari n'abahembwa make. Noneho tushaka kumenya ni kuyihe mpuzandengo umuntu umwe yagiye adevia par rapport na mean. So turaza gushyira square root rero. Turaza gushyira square. Okay, we will use the square to form the positive number from those negative numbers. So after we calculate the sum. After calculating the sum, we calculate the average. Aha rero niho byavuye byo kuvuga ngo standard deviation is equal to the square root of the squared deviations from every number from the mean. Standard deviation is the average of the average of the square root of squared deviations, okay, from the mean. If we go, for example, we have in internet here, if we standard deviation, okay, we write standard deviation meaning. So let's see. So standard deviation is the quantity expressing how much the members of a group differ from the mean of the group. Okay, that's good. But what does it tell us? It is how disparate the data in relation to the mean. This is what we come to do. So standard deviation, in a simple word, standard deviation is a measure of dispersion of a set of data from its mean. It measures the absolute variation of distribution. The higher the distribution or variability, the greater is the standard deviation, and greater will be the magnitude of the deviation of varies from the mean. This is what we call, this is the definition. If I try to zoom it out, so this is what we call normally the standard deviation. Okay, the standard deviation is how data are spread from in relation to the mean. You see, if we try to see this graph, for example, I know some of you, they might not have my background in education, background in mathematics. I'm not going into deep, so I want only to explain why we need to calculate this. So the standard deviation is how data are dispersed from the mean, in relation to the mean. Okay, so this is what I come to explain here. So what I need is the square of the deviations, because among the deviations I have negative number and the positive numbers, and their sum is equal to 0. So the square of deviations, okay, the square of deviations is equal to what? Here we have the square. Okay, it is this number, of course, it is this number square, or yeah, we can have square, or we can have multiply itself. Okay, there's no problem if you multiply itself like this. That is the square of this number. Okay, so we have like this. So 40 whatever times, yes, times itself. Is it right? The square of this times this. Let me calculate it here. Okay, C2 times C2. So yeah, okay, it's right. 49 366 times 49 48, sorry, 366, it is equal to this one. Okay, this is clear. So after calculating the the square root of this number, I calculate, the square of the numbers, I calculate what we call the square root, because I need the square, the summation of the square, then I calculate the square root. So the summation, I can even come there. Okay, then if I go there, auto sum, I find the number below. Okay, after finding this number, I calculate the square root of this number. The square root of this number is, sorry, the square root of this is around this number. Okay, after calculating the square root, remember what I've told you, you calculate the average of how many people. So how many people do we have? We have around 80 staffs. So 90 people. Yes, 90. So you calculate also the average of this number, the average of the sum of the squared deviations. Okay, so over 90 to find the average. You see, at least one, let me go with this number there above, the standard deviation. Okay, the standard deviation SD of this number, sorry, I didn't copy it well. So the average, let me, it is 120,000, 102. So it, yes, it is 12,000, 55, 12, 12,055. Okay, so this is what we call the standard deviation. What does it tell us? The standard deviation tells us that at least each of the staff deviate, each of the staff salary deviate 12,000 from the mean. That is what we call standard deviation. Standard deviation ni average of the square root of average of the sum of squared deviations of each point from the mean. So ni ukuvuga ngo umwe mu staff buriya tugiye kuvuga ngo ese buriya tugereranyije n'impuzandengo aba bantu bahemberwaho, donc bahembwa impuzandengo twabonye ko ari 224. Ubundi buriya impuzandengo badeviyaho cyangwa se sinzi ukuntu nabyita, donc umuntu umwe ari kure n'impuzandengo yagomba, kuko impuzandengo ubundi ibi bivuze amafaranga umuntu yakagombye guhembwa abantu bose bahuriyeho, kuko twashatse the deviation to it is the average of deviations. Okay, so noneho tumaze kubona impuzandengo y'amafaranga 224 ko ariyo mafaranga umwe nibura yakagombye kuba ahembwa, turibaza ngo aba bantu ubundi ko batayahembwa. Impamvu batayahembwa nuko harimo difference hagati y'abo bahembwa nayo bakagombye guhembwa. So rero iyo difference kugira ngo tumenye on average, ubundi difference yingana gute on average, iyo ubwayo ni 12,000. Ni ukuvuga ngo uraza gusanga hari umuntu uhembwa 60 kandi impuzandengo ari 224. Ibyo 60 urumva afite ikinyuranyo cy'160, ariko dukonsideye n'ibindi binyuranye abandi bafite, nabyo tukabishakira mean, tukabishakira on average. Nibura umuntu umwe tubona ko adeviyaho 12,000. Bivuze iki? Uramutse ufashe amafaranga 12,000 ukabihereza buri muntu, wabona ko deviation isa naho igabanutse par rapport, donc deviation, buri muntu wese ari kudevia 12,000 par rapport n'iki na mean. Ugiye kubisesengura, that's how you can say. Ariko ubundi mu buryo busanzwe umuntu yagombye kuba ahembwa 224. Donc bamwe nibura abari hasi bakazamuka bagahembwa nayo, abari hejuru nabo bakamanuka, icyo gihe bagahurira ku mubare umwe. Ariko kubera ko salary zitagomba kungana, that is how we calculate the difference and how do we calculate the standard deviation. If we need to know the variance, ibintu hari abantu benshi batajya bashaka kubyumva bakumva harimo tuntu dusa naho tugoranye, ariko mu by'ukuri nta kintu kigoranye kucyumva. Ndaje mbahereza urugero rufatika rutari mu masalary, wenda tujye nko muri class rebe nk'amanota y'abanyeshuri. So ahangaha variance it is this square, it is a standard deviation square. Okay, so the variance is this one, this square because the standard deviation is square root of variance, so the variance is the square of standard deviation. Okay, ni ukuvuga ngo variance nibura variability ingana kuriya, ariko ni nini cyane. Ngira ngo ugiye kubisobanura nuko nyine ari amadone twayafashe randomly, ariko mu by'ukuri ntabwo byakabaye. So reka dufate urundi rugero for better understanding. Decision making is not easy. Decision making needs your attention. Decision making needs you to follow attentively. Okay? So let's consider students here. Okay? Sorry. Let's consider class A, class B, class C. Okay? Hariya tugiye kugira amanota y'abanyeshuri. Let me trace this table and say students marks. Okay? This is what we call analysis, but it is not a very big analysis. This is very simple. So when we are dealing with data analysis, it's another song. It's another song to sing. We use different tests, we use different approaches. Okay, so you have to understand and you have to be familiar with mathematics. So we have the student marks, and the students are from 3 classes. We want to know which class is having clever students, intelligent students, and which class is having some students who are not clever. Okay, so we want to compare 3. So okay, so we have students A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, G, K. Okay, so how many are there? 11. I want to have like 10. Let me take a sample of 10 students. That will be easy. So 10 students, and we have class A randomly, like we saw in previous videos. So I can randomly find the marks. Okay, let me say in class A it's around 30 and 69. Okay, 9. No, 86. Okay, so then we move down. Okay, I find the numbers there. Then that's land between, they are random numbers. Class B land between like, for example, 42 to 79 or 83. So it's randomly. Okay, so let's see. Okay, in class C, land between, let's say 47 over 70, what, 93. Okay, I don't know. So we have the marks there. So I find the marks without typing. Okay, Excel is good. I can even change, because I have the names of students. Let me change not classes but courses. Let's say this is math, this is biology, this will be a bit easy. So this is physics. Oh, history, don't be too scientific. Story. Okay, so we want to know which course was students scored more marks than another course. Which course looks a bit easy than other courses? So the student A has obtained 78 marks in mathematics, 61 marks in biology, and 56 in history. This one might be good at studying things related to nursing, medicine, and things like that, because he failed history, but he's good in biology, he's good in mathematics, can study applied mathematics and whatever, I don't know. So the student number B is has 62 in math, 45 in biology, and 77 in history. So this one can be a good politician. He knows how to keep history. So student number C and many others, okay? So we are having different students, we are having different marks, okay? So we want to know which course the students have scored more marks and which one the students have not scored high marks. Which course students are having a very high deviation and which course students are having a cross marks. So if you look at like this with your naked eyes, you cannot say, okay, here students are having close, their marks are close. Huh? No, you have to use formula. So you can't see it like that. Okay? So let's begin from mathematics. For example, let's begin with the mathematics. So let's, for example, do this. Okay. Okay. So let me have another table here which explains the marks obtained. So the minimax, here we have math, here we have biology, and here we have history. So here we have the minimax. Okay, this is now a good example you all can understand. Max, and I have here average. I have standard deviation. Can even have here the median. Okay, aha rero bigiye kutwereka iki? Tugiye kureba ni irihe somo abanyeshuri batsinze cyane. Ese batsinze cyane ku bw'iyo mpamvu bashobora kuba barakopeye, mwarimu ashobora kuba yarabakopeje cyangwa se bigira hamwe. Burya ibintu byose biba bifite positive factors, ariko hakabaho n'iziri negative. Ushobora gusanga abanyeshuri baratsinze isomo bitewe n'uko bakopezanyije muri exam. Ibi rero byose urabireba ugishingiye ku manota babonye. So gufata amanota, ushobora kuba uri nk'umwarimu wenda unakurikiye n'iyi video, ukaba ujya ufata amanota y'abanyeshuri ugahereza umwana amanota upfuye kwibonera. That is not professional ethic. Ntabwo iyo ngiyo ari ethique professionnelle. Umwana uba ugomba kumuhereza amanota yakoreye kuko nicyo kigero, donc nicyo gipimo cy'ibyo cy'ibisubizo yatanze ku bibazo yabajijwe. Ntabwo ari cyo gipimo cy'ubwenge, no, ahubwo ni igipimo cy'ibisubizo yatanze. Wenda ibisubizo iyo uvuze ngo umunyeshuri yabonye amanota 70%, biba bivuze ngo mu bisubizo watanze 70% niyo byari byo. Ariko ntabwo bivuze ko uriya munyeshuri ari umunyabwenge 70%. Reka da, uzi kubaza umuntu ibintu atiteguye, uzi kubaza umuntu ibintu utigeze umubwira ngo ndaza kukubaza ibi ngibi. Ni ukuvuga we have to understand that gufata umwana yabonye amanota 70% ukavuga ngo wa mwana uri umuhanga, nibyo, yes, that's good, ariko ntabwo bivuze ko ejo atakuzanira 40%. Kubera iki? Ibyo wamubajije uyu munsi ushobora bitandukanye n'ibyo ejo bazamubaza. So igipimo rero cy'ubuhanga n'ubwenge ntabwo ari amanota, ahubwo wenda umuntu iyo ugiye ukanariza uburyo umwana atadevia ukurikije amanota yabonye mu gihembwe cya mbere, icya kabiri n'icya gatatu, iyo deviation wayanariza ukabona isa naho iri stable, nibwo umwana uvuga ngo ni umuhanga. Naho ubundi ntushobora gufata igihembwe kimwe ngo umwana uhite uvuga ngo ni umuhanga kandi mu by'ukuri amanota yabonye ntabirarenga, yabonye 90, none what do you know about tomorrow? ejo ushobora kukuzanira 40, ejo bundi akongera akakuzanira 90, bitewe n'iki? Bitewe n'uko hari deviation runaka yagiye agira bitewe na factor 1, 2, 3 and many other factors. Okay, so let's calculate the minimax in mathematics. Let's find the minimax in mathematics. We have this one. Okay, so the minimax in biology mean, okay, select this. The minimax in history, okay, we have this. Oh, here you can say, oh, the minimum max in history is 48. Students have worked hard. So yet the minimax in mathematics, you say mathematics is very, very, very difficult because one of the students have scored 30 marks in the exam. So this doesn't tell you if the course was difficult or not. So the maximum marks in mathematics, okay, mathematics, enter. So the max in biology, maximum max in biology, that's maximum max in history, is this one. Okay, so you see, the first students in mathematics obtained 84. The first student in biology obtained 82, and the first student in history obtained 86. So we now move on to calculate the average marks. Okay, the average in mathematics average on average each student one of the students scored 61.8 on average in biology. Okay, you will know the meaning of this. In biology, at least one student, okay, obtained 65. On average, in history, one of the students in history obtained on average 66.3. You see, the marks are closer, but this cannot tell us anything about the closeness, how closer marks are. So the median, okay, the median in mathematics, is 60. Okay, the median, which is a bit closer to the mean, okay, to the average. Median is the number in the middle. Okay, the median in history is which one? So is 66.5. You see, the median and the mean are on a good rhythm. Yes, it looks similar. So we now move on. This cannot tell us if the course was difficult, if the students have obtained high marks in math or in biology, in history. We don't have any idea. Whatever you can say there, it's a lie. You cannot look at minimum marks and maximum marks on the average and median and say, oh, I needed to conclude that math was difficult, biology was difficult, history was never. We are not at a good stage of taking the conclusion. So, but the conclusion we will take it after calculating the standard deviation. So how standard deviation so let us calculate first the deviation deviations here in mathematics. So let me do this. The deviation we have seen, it is how the one mark or one salary deviate from the mean, the average. Okay, that is what we call the standard deviation. It is how each point deviate. Uvuga ngo umunyeshuri umwe muri bariya ubundi yakagombye ni ugiye gupresenta wihuta wavuga uti ewan umunyeshuri umwe mu mibare yabonye dufite impuzandengo y'amanota 61, umuntu agahita avuga ati wow, ubwo abana harimo abana bafite za 50 na 70 na 80 gutyo, sibyo? Impuzandengo muri biology ni 65, impuzandengo muri history ni 66. Uvuga ngo umwe mu banyeshuri afite iki, afite ari amanota. So, ariko mu by'ukuri ntabwo babivuze ko hatarimo abana bafite muri za 30 hafi badafite no muri za 20, ahubwo impuzandengo ikaba yakuruwe n'abantu bafite za 90 batigana n'abandi, cyangwa se bafite izindi factors zibabatera. Umwana ashobora kuba ataha yagera iwawe bamushakiye umwarimu, uwo mwana uzahangana nawe gute? So then you press enter. The deviation is 60. Okay, so I need this R3 to be stable. Then that's why I click F4 on my keyboard. Okay, then I scroll down. You see, this is 0.2 because it is very closer to the mean. Okay, so after finding the deviation, I calculate the sum of deviations, the square root of the square deviations, the square of the square, because we have seen that this the sum of the deviation is equal to 0. So here I calculate the square of, not square root, but square of the deviations. So it is taking this number times itself. Okay, the square, we find that. So after calculating this, I find now the sum of the deviations, the sum of the squared deviations. The sum is equal to, the sum of the deviations is equal to 33,000. Okay, after calculating the sum, I calculate now what the average. To find the standard deviation, okay, to find the standard deviation in mathematics, I will take the sum, okay, it is equal to this sum, the sum there, then over, okay, how many students do we have? How many students? We have 10 students. So, oh, sorry. So the sum of the squared, of 300, let me check where, standard deviation, the sum of the deviations, the sum of the squared deviations, okay, yes, over on average, then I calculate what, the square root. Yes, it's okay. So the square root of okay, sorry, the square root of the sum of the deviations, sorry, it is the standard deviation. This should be like the variance, but I have to calculate the square root of the sum of the squared scores, okay, over the mean, over how many students, over 10 students. Then I find 5 point something like that. So this means what? It means one student deviates, okay, you see the average, so it's around 61.8. Each student deviates 5.5 from the mean. So if you look at the mean, it is 61, okay? And if you look at how the marks deviate, okay, let us look at this deviation. We have 16, we have 0, we have other negative numbers, so we have squared this and we found the square root, then we divide we divide the number of students to find the average. Okay, that is the standard deviation of math marks. So let us go to standard deviation of biology marks. Okay, so okay, let's change the color to this. The color, let's change it to this color, biology. So deviations from the mean, how the marks deviate from the mean, we take each mark, okay, minus the mean of biology is this one. We find it like this, okay. This one has gone below the mean, 4.2 below the mean, okay. That's what it means. So this one I need it to be stable. That's why I click a F4. So then after this I square the deviations. Square the deviations to remove this negative number times itself. We have this. Okay, after squaring the deviations, so I go to find standard deviation. Standard deviation of biology is equal to square root of the sum, okay, of the squared numbers here. So you can even have a single formula like that, okay. So no need to have large formulas. So the standard deviation is equal to this over the average, the number of students, it is 10. So we have 3.9. So we go to history. History means what? History mean, how are we going to find this history? Like things related to history. Yeah. So let's find the deviations in history. Find this point, each point minus the mean. The mean in history is 66.3. That's the mean. Okay, this one has gone 10.3 marks below the mean. Uyu nguyu nyine wabonye 56 arabura amanota 10 n'ibice bitatu kugira ngo nibura agere kuri mean, si no kugera ku muntu wa mbere, ahubwo ni ukugera ngo agere ku manota yitwa impuzandengo ya buri munyeshuri. Yes. So if you have questions, please go to comments and the chat. Go to chat and tell me what's wrong. How do you see this post? So this N5 it should be stable. Then I click F4. So here I find now the square of the deviations. The square of the deviation is what? So you find this times itself. So it is equal there. So the standard deviation, let me differentiate the tables here. The standard deviation here of the history, okay, is equal to the square root of the sum of squared deviations. Square root of the sum of squared deviation, the average square root of the sum squared deviations, sum of squared deviations. So it is this one. So we close parentheses, we find this one. So after finding this, what do? We divide by 10 because the standard deviation is the average. Okay, hope now this is also equal to 3.9. What does it mean? Ibi rero tubonye bivuze iki sasa? Umunyeshuri ufite amanota make mu mibare afite amanota 90, ufite menshi afite 88. Abandi bose bari hagati. Ufite menshi ariko muri abo ngabo muri ayo manota iyo tugerageje kureba impuzandengo yayo, buri munyeshuri agombye kuba afite 61 n'ibice 8. Okay? Hanyuma mediane cyangwa amanota yo hagati na hagati umunyeshuri yigeze abona, mediane na amanota 63 n'ibice 5 bitewe nuko murumva n'abanyeshuri 10 kandi mediane muziko ari n+1/2. Sibyo, n yacu rero ni kangahe? Ni 5 +1 plus plus 1, it is equal to 6 over 2. We find the third of the marks. So the median is equal to just 1. Standard deviation ni 5 n'ibice 5. Standard deviation yo muri biology ufite make afite amanota 45, ufite menshi ariko ari munsi y'ufite y'imibare ufite 82. On average umunyeshuri wo muri biology na amanota 65. Hanyuma median na amanota 66 n'igice. Hanyuma history ufite make imanota 48, hafi kimwe cya kabiri. Ufite menshi n'ubundi ni nawe ufite menshi mu masomo yose, afite amanota 86. Nako si ufite menshi mu masomo yose, ahubwo ni ufite menshi asumbye y'abandi bafite menshi mu masomo yose. Average umunyeshuri wo muri history yagombye kuba afite amanota 66 n'ibice 3, ariko hagati uraza gusanga afite 66 n'ibice 5. Hanyuma deviation ni amanota 3 n'ibice 9, deviation from the mean. Bivuze iki rero ya standard deviation? Buriya nuvuga ngo isomo ry'imibare nubwo baritsinda ariko haracyarimo ikinyuranyo mu manota. Nicyo biriya bishatse kuvuga. Kuba standard deviation ari nini bivuze ko harimo ikinyuranyo mu manota. Harimo ikinyuranyo, there is a great deviation. So bivuze ngo hari abanyeshuri batigana n'abandi, cyangwa se hari abanyeshuri batita ku mibare, reka mbyite gutyo, bamwe bakayitsinda abandi bakayitsindwa. Okay, niyo mpamvu deviation ubona ari nini par rapport na deviation yo muri biology cyangwa yo muri history. Nuko rero kuri aba bisobanura uvuga ngo isomo hano wavuga ko abanyeshuri bakunze cyane ni biology na history kubera ko deviation ni ntoya. Bivuze ko baryiga bashyizeho umwete kandi bakarikunda bakanafashanya, ndetse n'umwarimu wabyo cyangwa abarimu babyo byombi bashobora kuba basobanurira abanyeshuri neza cyane, bigatuma buri munyeshuri ajya ku rugero nk'urwa mugenzi we, bigatuma amanota barutana ataba menshi cyane. Ariko nko mu mibare hari abanyeshuri bakora exercise nyinshi abandi bakaba ntibindeba, bigatuma rero umwe abona amanota menshi undi akabona make. Bashobora kuba batanigana muri group, sibyo? Ibyo nabyo bigatuma babona amanota agiye atandukana. So the deviation is high in mathematics comparing to biology and history. I hope this is very clear. So we move on to other decisions, or other interpretations and analysis. So let's say, for example, let me try to highlight this. So this is refresh training. You should have done this, seen this, or it might be your first time, I don't know, but you have to know this. Let me remain with math, biology, and history. They say so they say that students succeed math because they have succeeded biology. We want to test if that is true or false. Okay? We want to test if that is true or false. Do students have marks in math because they scored high in biology? Is there any relation, or there is no relation? Okay? So we come here and select math and biology. We go to insert. We go to recommended chart. Okay? Sorry. We go to you see, this is how the chart looks like. So we have sorry, they only considered biology. Okay, let me biology is our x-axis. So can we trace a line? So if someone is scored 30 in mathematics, is having around 40 something in biology. You see, so there is a somehow positive correlation, but which is not great. There is no greater positive correlation. There is no strong positive correlation. So what if we take like biology and history to know if students score who succeed in biology succeed also history. So we have the line, more scatter plots. So we have, okay, so let's see this. So recommended chart. Okay, we see. I need the scatter plot or charts. The scatter XY plot, but it is somehow, you see, it doesn't give me a sense. It is somehow zigzag like this, doesn't give me a sense, but I should have this very clear. Okay, so that is how you can use chart to to take some conclusions. So for example, if you say students succeed in math because they succeeded in biology and things like that. So let's move to another next thing, which is called what if. Eh? Ubundi se bigenze gutya, what would be the result? Eh? What if I change this, what would be the result? Eh? If I change this, what would be the result? For example, dufate nk'urugero like which example? Let's go in economy, in commerce, like at the market we have, for example, the price. Okay, the price of a commodity. Okay, the price is for example $200. Let me put dollars there because all the amounts will be in dollar sign, with dollar sign. Okay, so we have these dollars. Okay, so we have this the $200. We have $200. Then we have, for example, the quantity of products. So we don't know, the quantity maybe either 100 or other things like that. So not dollars. Sorry, should not be dollars. Should be a general number. Okay. So actually, the total revenues, is what will be the total revenue if you have the quantity 100 and the price per one unit, it is 200. Multiply, you find this one. Okay, they are around $20,000. Okay, so after this one, for example, you have transport. Transport, you need to remove some transport. The transport is always, let's say, for example, transport per item, transport per item. Okay, so we have, for example, quantity. This is the quantity or items. Let me write items. The transport per item is equal to 50. Okay, means what? Total transport must be calculated as 50 times the total items, of course, because the total, yes. Okay, so let's say, for example, it is 25. To not to be too much, 25 per item. Okay, so the profit, what will be the profit then? So what will be the profit? The profit will be the revenue. Okay, total revenue negative total transport, transport, which is B6 and is equal to this one. Okay, so what does this means? Let me try to zoom it out for you. What does this means? It means when we have 100 items. Iyo dufite ibintu ijana, let's say for example ko ari nk'ibiri ijana by'umuceri, so iyo tugurisha kilograms of rice, okay, per 1 kilogram, okay, yes, let's say we have 100 kilograms of rice, dufite ibiro ijana by'umuceri, siko bimeze. Hanyuma biriya biro ijana by'umuceri biduha inyungu y'ibihumbi 17 kubera ko buri kiro tukigurisha amafaranga 200. This price doesn't exist, guys. Oh my God. Okay, so price per 1 kilogram, okay, is $800. Is it? Not possible. It is 800. Let me change it to Rwandan francs. So to change it to Rwandan francs, you come there, you go here, more number formats, you go to currency, okay, you go to symbol, you choose Rwanda. Rwanda is there down there. So RF, Rwandan francs, okay? Okay, Rwandan francs, we have it here. So all the symbols are there, guys. Don't complicate typing each and everything. You see? Did I type anything? It is in my Excel and it is in yours. You don't have to type LWF to mean Rwandan francs. Never. It is there in your Excel. So what I can do here, it is to minimize the zeros and to change this. This should not be francs, it should be a general number. Okay? Right? The price per 1 kilogram of rice is 800 Rwandan francs. We have 100 kilograms of rice. Total revenue, of course, it is 80,000 Rwandan francs. But the transport per 1 kilogram is 25 Rwandan francs. So the total transport for the 100 kilograms is 2,500 Rwandan francs. So the profit is 77,500 Rwandan francs. This is very clear. Iyo ushoye ibiro ijana by'umuceri, kiro kimwe ukakigurisha 800, wakoresha transport y'amafaranga 25 kuri buri kiro, urumva wakoresha 2500 kugira ngo ukarikira inyungu, urafata amafaranga yose winjije ukuremo transport, kuko transport hano ni nkayo dufite ya expense. Transport is the expense, niyo depense wakoze, sibyo? Cyangwa se niba wagiye no muri restaurant ubyongereho, it's up to you. Niba waguze n'amayinite, it's okay, ariko amafaranga 77,000 n'amafaranga 250 n'amafaranga 500 niyo nyungu kugeza ubu ngubu. Aha rero ushobora kwibaza uti none se what if I change? What if I change these 100 kilograms and make them, for example, 200? What will be the profit? What if I change the price, okay, to 1,000? What will be the profit? It's clear. You can change it like this. 1,000, you see the profit has increased. You can change it it can remain to 800, but you change the quantity to this, the profit changes and the total transport also changes. Yes, very clear. So, but this cannot work professionally. We need to include something which is more professional, and it is called what if function. What if function? What if I do this? What if I change this? What will be? So here you can even ask yourself, how will I hit the profit of 200,000? So what do I need to change? What would be the quantity of rice? Kugira ngo ngire 500 by'inyungu, ubwo naba nashoye ibiro by'umuceri bingana iki? Ese ubwo transport yo byantwara ngahe? Iyo rero nicyo twita what if function. Very clear, very easy to understand. So let's come there. So to what if function, let's go to data. Then we go here to what if function. What if function, we have three options. We have scenario manager, we have goal seek, and we have data table. Okay, goal seek and scenario manager and data table. If we are together, let's begin with scenario manager. So when I click to the scenario manager, I add scenarios. Scenario name, for example, let me say this scenario. This scenario here, it is for 100 quantity. Okay, quantity. So the changing cell, what is the changing cell? The changing cell is B3, this one. Okay, so I come there and I say it is not B4 but B3. Kubera ko icyo ndi guhindura ni ibiro. Ese ibiro biramutse bibaye 300, ubwo price, ubwo profit yawe ingana gute? Ibiro biramutse bibaye 500, ubwo profit yawe ingana gute? Okay, I can leave this comment. So okay, let's say okay, so the profit will be this. So let me add another scenario. Scenario wenda nyite ko ari 500 quantity. Ibiro noneho 500. Ese ndamutse ngize ibiro 500, quantity yawe ingana ute? Ndaje nabyo mbibone hariya. Okay, so ibiro 500 show. Murabona bahise banyereka ko biramutse bibaye ibiro 500 bya inyungu yaba ari ibiro ibihumbi 387. Yeah, so if I go back to 100 and click show, bahita bambwira ko amafaranga yaba ari 77. Iki rero nicyo twita scenario manager. I add another scenario, for example for quantity y'ibihumbi 300 y'ibiro 350. So ibiro 350, I click okay to 350. So I click okay. What will be the profit? The profit will be ibihumbi 271. Let me add another scenario. This is good. Urabona ibintu ukuntu very interesting. Yeah. Reka dushyiraho noneho ibiro nk'igihumbi. Ibiro igihumbi harya si tone. 1 ton. Okay, 1 ton. Let's say 1 ton. And what would be there? It is 1000. It's okay. Then what would be for 1 ton show? It will be inyungu yaba ari 775 together. So here I can request for a summary on this my table here. I can request for summary on this table. Scenario manager. You can add some more, so many scenarios. So I request for a summary. This is the summary of my scenarios. Scenario summary. So they say, okay, for 100, let me zoom it out again. Okay, they say for 100 quantity, the profit is this. For 500 quantity, the profit is this. For 350, the profit is this. For 1 ton or 800 or 1000 kilograms, the profit would be this. So the current varies from the present values of changing cells at time scenario summary report was created. Okay, this is very clear. You see, what if, that is what we call what if. What if I change this? What if I change this? What if? So what would be the result? Okay, I think you now understand very well this summary. Okay, so let's go back to our data there. So before choose this. Okay, let's go back to, let me delete this or let me leave it. Okay, so scenario manager, I've told you that it has 3 options. Okay, the option eshatu. Option ya mbere niriya, what if function has 3 options. So scenario manager, goal seek, and data table. So the goal seek is what? The set cell. Noneho ndashaka kwibaza ngo what would be the quantity if I want the profit to be this one. Okay, so you have an idea of your profit, of the profit you want, but you don't have an idea of the quantity. This is the inverse. It looks like the inverse of scenario manager. The scenario manager was saying, okay, what would be the profit if I change the quantity? But today I'm not going to change the result, but I'm going to fix it. Hariya ngiye kwibaza ngo result ko nshaka 1 million, okay? I need 1 francs. I need 1 million, okay? I don't know if this will work. Okay, the set value, it is this one, okay? That is the set value. I want to set it to 1 million, 1 franc by changing what? By changing the quantity, okay? Then I click, okay, this, they don't accept this one, 1 franc. Let me add this without units, okay? So you see, to obtain to obtain 1 million 1 francs, I need 1,290 kilograms. You see, this is the quantity that I need to obtain 1,000. Okay, what if this is what we call what if function? Goal-sec option. I need 1,290 kilograms to obtain 1 million 1 francs. So there, I fixed the profit, but I'm wondering what would be the quantity to obtain the profit. I think that's very clear. Let me repeat it once again. So I want to, for example, to obtain what if, let me go to data, then what if function, goal-sec, okay? The changing value, the set value is this profit. I want to set it to like for example 5 million, okay? So what would be the quantity by changing by, okay, let's say for example yes, by changing this quantity, what is the quantity required to have 5 million? You see, it is calculated and it is 6,452 kilograms to obtain 5,000. Ukeneye tone esheshatu ugurisha ku mafaranga, ukeneye tone esheshatu n'ibiro 452 ugurisha ku mafaranga 800 kandi wishyura ibihumbi 161 n'amafaranga 190 ya transport, kubera ko ikiro kimwe bagitwarira 25 kugira ngo ugire inyungu ya miliyoni 5. This is good, very good. This, I like this one. What if function? What if I change this? What would be that? Guys, do you like this too? Okay, let's go back to 100 again. So we have that. Let's say for example we have the quantity, okay? Quantity here we have 100, we have like 200, we have 6,000, 6,542. So we have like let's leave it like that. To this, okay, to this 100 we have 750. Okay, let me use the table to obtain the remaining quantity. Let's use this. So if I go this, what if function table, okay, raw input cell, so would be the raw input cell would be this 70 what, so and the column input would be this 100. Let's see, no, I don't have to change it like this. So let me repeat once again to obtain the data table. Actually, the main thing is the scenario manager and the goal-sec table. Data table, it is not always, it is not used. by many people, but it is also useful. Okay, so if I use this, what would be giving 0, what I need to know why. So because this should be 200 and I get this should look like the scenario. If I change, for example, I go to what function, go 6 scenarios, then I add scenario of, let me say for example 6 ton, and it is 6542 kilograms. What would be, they say okay, more than 5 millions and so on. That's scenario manager, guys. That's what we call what if function. What if I change this, what would be that? Okay, so I hope you follow this, so and you can even try it yourself. So it is not difficult, it's very easy, and this is okay. We have looked at if function, some ifs and whatever. So let me repeat once again what we call some ifs, because I know many of you were not here. Okay, I have to obtain this. Okay, so let's move. I've created so many sheets. uh, Different sheets. Okay, so here I have another table. Okay, this is what we have seen yesterday. Okay, let's use this table. Okay, so we have around how many people? We have 10 people. The 10 people, they have the amount which is equivalent to that. We don't know if that is the salary, we don't know if that is which kind of amount of money is that. So but it is very useful, we have it. So we have the agenda, we have if they drink or not, we have their province of origin. So I want to sum the amount of money. Let me call it the money, but I'm not sure if this is the money or the other numeric value which is having a different meaning. Okay, my boss asked me what is the, okay, my boss asks me to sum only the amount for people who drink. For only people who drink, eh? For I don't know, maybe it's water. Don't be confused. Drinking beer, drinking water, and other things like that. So I want to sum conditionally. So the sum of money for those amount for those who drink, okay, it is equal to this amount of money for people who do not drink. I will write it there. And amount of money for people for sorry for female, amount of money for males. Okay, let's amount of money for east people, for people from east, amount of money for people from south, wrap paper. Okay, so amount of money for people from south, amount of money for people from west, amount of money for people from north. So I still have around 23 minutes. Let me calculate one thing. Then if you are registered, I will share the online Excel sheet. So for you to fill in, for us to work in the Excel sheet. You will find this data here in this Excel sheet. Let me share it with you here. So I have your emails. Okay. Then if you have registered, you will see that, but if you didn't register, you can't see this. Okay. Let me share it with you. People with the email from one eco fund and the others, so those work emails cannot work. Please check your emails and come back here and open the sheet, or let me add it in your comments. Let me add it here in the comments box. Okay, so you can open, so you can open the sheet there. So open it so that we can move to the Google spreadsheet. Sorry, I'm in a training. Okay, someone was calling. So I commented the public. You can open that sheet, then you go online. Okay. Okay. So I saw you people are there. So I'm coming. So let me bring the data. Okay. So people, are you there? You see in data new? Okay, please join. Please join. Please join. Please join. Why can't you join? Hello. Please join the link. Okay. So join the link so that we can have the same share of the spreadsheet online. I'm providing the training online. I'll call you later. So you joined, okay? So I'm going to give you one example, and you can provide the remaining. You can do the remaining task, okay? So please follow. Please follow. Okay. So I saw only 3 people there, but I hope others will come too. So the amount of people who drink is equal to the sum if, okay, if, sorry, the sum if the range, the criteria range is drinking, yes or no, okay, okay, yes or no. The criteria range is this one, okay. So after this, the person who drink, of course the response is yes, and what I'm trying to sum up, it is the amount. Then I click here, then I close the parentheses. So the amount of people who drink is equal to 13,469. So you can calculate the remaining. I showed you the formula. It is very easy like that, okay. So that is the what we call the sum if function. Sum if function. Others, please continue with other formula. I will check them right after. Let me assign each and every one. So for okay, you type in the formula to find the responses. Okay, please find the formula, insert the formula to find your responses there.